this is where we end up in the modern world, and it's still kind of fucked because of drugs. Like,
100%. I will
go read the book "Be Here Now" by Ram Dass. He was like a '70s hippie, but the entire book is about how he arrived at exactly what you just described through psychedelics.
I've heard this so many times. Obviously my background. I'm just saying I've heard this many times. I've even heard people quote the book by Jonah Lear. Imagine, excellent book. It walks through how different people use drugs that are very successful. That is an argument I've heard time and time again. But the problem is that equation we talk about, you can't take one parameter from somebody else's equation and apply it to yours. And when people share their stories, they don't share all the parameters in their stories. The thing that gave the person resilience to take the drugs and achieve that, someone else may not have. And so when they take the drugs, they could fall down. And so promoting that, I think, is a big problem. Dopamine Nation is a great book. Everybody should read it. It kind of goes into good detail over how our brain works. We've talked about the seesaw in this space before. Drugs are it's like playing with a knife.
Yeah, someone might.
I'm not promoting it whatsoever. I'm just saying it's not exclusive.
I mean, if you look at Mike Menser, he took meth, and that kind of enabled him.
He took meth. It ain't true for the earth. It's meth.
But
Hitler took meth too, and it allowed him to, quote unquote, accomplish things others didn't. Right? It's like it's not a drug.
So that's one. You can look at it from that side, but you're not also counting in the amount of people that have literally fucking died from not taking that.
Yeah, the way I would argue to look at it is, if you take drugs or anything, you're not present. It just is my personal definition of a life well lived is, at the end, when you die, if you were to do a mathematical equation and calculate how many milliseconds the person was present versus escaping in some form, whoever has the maximum amount of time they were present lived the most, so they won.
That's also you supposing that you're experiencing what other people are experiencing also, though, which is false to start with.
The only thing that matters to me is how many of my goals did I achieve.
I'm actually not saying this.
That's so exciting.
Well, I'm not saying this based on my experiences, for what it's worth. I'm saying it from how neural networks work, right? If we look at it from a biological, scientific perspective.
Matt, I'm just going to stop you right there. I can tell you that I've been on a variety of different substances over time, and I've been very, very, very present, and they've had transformational